Welcome to episode 3 of Relationship with Brandolyn and Charles Clay.
Excuse us if it's a little TMI, but today we're feeling really inspired to share about our sex life after childbirth. Woo!
Cheers
Wee!
to sex.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about you and me.
All the good things, all the bad things,
Mm-hmm.
and everything in between. We have to admit that we both had a little bit of fear and anxiety about how sex might be after childbirth. The entire time I was pregnant, I felt really nervous. Like, we gotta have as much sex as we can because who knows what it's gonna be like after we have a baby, you know? And we had heard all of these terrible stories from so many other couples and from so many other parents about how horrible their sex life was after they had a baby, how they never had sex again, how things felt different. And so I think I wasted some energy on the fear and anxiety that had accumulated from other people's stories that I had been told. So number one, just tune out any of other people's stories or experiences that don't resonate with you. Like, we are creating our own reality, we're creating our own experience and our own story. So let's not give other people's stories more energy or more thought than we need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even with our story, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. And wow, our story, after hearing all the horror stories and how, sex life just goes plummets after childbirth, we wanted to make sure not to fall into that story because it's such an important part of our relationship. And we're talking about the most powerful energy that I know of on the planet, sexual energy. And so, we've each had our individual practices of cultivating that energy into creative expression and into our businesses and into music and the events we share. And so we didn't want to lose that. And there was definitely like this kind of in the background fear about, what's going to happen with our sex life when we have this baby. And so, there's even the doctors say that you're supposed to wait, 6 weeks, a month, right?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. I think we lasted 3 weeks before we tried having sex again after birth. And so gradually, we broke that record, and it's basically been an evolution of our sex and our chemistry. It's there's a lot more to juggle. And I think the exciting thing that we've gained from it is that, with managing this sweet little baby, this angel that's now in our life, and managing our needs and coming together in love and love making is so important and such a huge priority on our list. In fact, our making the most important appointment of the day is us coming together for sex magic, and that's a high priority for us. And so it's really like the level of importance that we put on it, and that's helped us in a lot of ways. And in between, setting those sex appointments, which could be the most important appointment of your day, in between that, making it fun. It's like channeling our 007 Mission Impossible movie style energy to try to pull off, either a quickie or a long session if possible, whenever we can, when the opportunity's there. And so when we gamify it like that, it actually adds another element of excitement to it that I've found is really fun. And What do you feel?
Well, we don't actually make sex appointments. We always have sex spontaneously.
Mm-hmm.
We're not a couple that like plans in and schedules our sex life. We just let it happen organically.
Right.
But holding
it's
the
like a floating
priority
appointment.
in our intentions
Mhm.
that it's the most important meeting of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And when it happens is most of the time like most profound, our most profound sexual experiences come with spontaneity. So the whole like scheduling to have sex at a certain time as an actual appointment doesn't actually work for us
Right.
as a couple. So I just wanted to clarify that.
And let me put it this way. If you look at my get-to-do list, she's on the very top.
Mm-hmm.
So we always get it in.
Well,
More ways than
hallelujah.
one.
Yeah, I mean, I was so relieved when we first made love after childbirth because it was amazing. It was so many experiences that I wasn't expecting it to be. I really felt a sense of having new skin after allowing the stitches from childbirth to fully heal. Literally, like, formed a new skin. So for me, there was this re-virginizing aspect of having sex again after giving birth that was so incredible to discover, like such a gift at the end of that long road of what a delicate and beautiful and magical and really intense healing process women go through postpartum and after childbirth that deserves the utmost reverence for the sacred process that it is and the way that a woman truly is a bridge between realms, between worlds, to bring spirits from the spirit realm into the earthly plane. And what a divine experience that is, like to contact our child as a soul and feel that we are bringing her into the third dimension, into the earthly plane is so mystical, is so divine. It's like the strongest communication that I've had to the other side, to spirit realm. And that made us see that there is such a deeply profound innocence to our sexuality. Like our daughter Sophia is the purest, most divine, most truly connected to source little human consciousness of anybody I've ever known or anybody I've ever met or experienced or had a relationship with on this level. And so any last bits of shame that I had in my own connection and relationship to my sexuality felt that they got cleansed and cleared and purified throughout the process of giving birth and seeing the pure divinity and transcendence and source, bright light of radiant source that just emanates through babies, through our children. And so I felt this reclamation of my own innocence in my connection to sexuality. So it was beautiful to experience our first time of making love again after having the time period of healing, because I felt this tenderness and this delicateness and this vulnerability and this like softness inside of me, and this reclaiming of innocence and this feeling of being re-virginized in a sense. We just let us touch on some notes, some frequencies, some energies that were new in our connection. So that was really beautiful and such a gift, and so sweet to experience. And like right from the start of making love again, my yoni felt just as tight as it did before I had a baby. So
hallelujah.
Just want to share and clarify that's true, because I really had a lot of head trips about like, is my yoni gonna be as tight? Is he gonna feel a difference? And I haven't felt the need to like focus a lot on doing Kegels or my jade egg work. I love doing that stuff regularly, but there hasn't been like, now that I had a baby, I have to do those things. So that's been really good to feel like my muscle structure and my strength in my yoni and its toning like as strong and as similar to what I experienced before a human births out of my yoni. So super grateful for that, and like just want to share that because it's an important myth buster, you know, and there's no reason to harbor such fear or anxiety about that, because for some people it's not true, and it's going to be birth, childbirth, parenthood, and the whole journey is going to be a unique story for each person, and we have so much to do with how we create those stories with our experiences. So holding sovereignty in our stories and in our experiences is key and so important. And you know, as a mom, like I give such a deep nourishment to my baby all the time, from my heart and from my breasts, which is one, you know, as I'm feeding her milk. And sometimes it takes a lot longer for me to shift from like mom nourishing mode into sex priestess mode. I've been feeling like I've been trying to reconcile like my inner sex priestess and my inner mother archetypes. Can my inner mother and my inner sex priestess coexist? Like, and where do they meet in the middle? Because sometimes if I'm breastfeeding Sophia and in lullaby, love, bonding, mother-daughter land, and then Charles is like, you know, initiating some contact and wanting to make love, then it's like, whoa, like I'm shifting gears. And it like really takes me a minute energetically to shift those gears and feel like I can be embodied in my inner sex priestess in the way that I want to be, and let go of the worry of the constant care of baby. Like logistically, sometimes that's challenging because babies obviously need our constant care and focus and attention. But we've done a beautiful job at really prioritizing our intimacy and our love making, and
absolutely.
And so I feel really grateful for that, and it's such a deep healing, you know, practice for us that connects us to source. So important.
Yeah, I think you know, just when I thought I couldn't love you anymore, I witnessed the miracle of birth, and then the way you are as a mother to Sophia, and I just keep rising higher and higher in love with you. And so with sex magic and like bringing that in, it actually being open to allowing for all the different types of seasons, all the different textures, all the different types of ways of making love to ensue, without needing it to be like, oh, okay, we're gonna have a whole session and it's got to come to an epic climax, and like all these expectations just out the window, and it's allowed for a lot more organic, you know, maybe even if it's just 2 minutes, then that's just building foreplay and building sexual energy for the next time. And it's this like continuum of sex magic that's so beautiful, that continues to build, and allowing that to flow in a nice organic way. And now that she's, you know, stepping back into businesswoman, and you know, we've hired a nanny and getting some more support in that regard.
For 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And starting to work a couple hours.
Just gradually
just a tiny bit.
Introducing that. It's been fun to watch her step into her creatrix, to her sexy creator, and like the outfits she wears, and the focus she has on creating and sharing, and it just like revs my engines so much that I tend to distract her from working.
I feel like the moment I get all the energy flowing into my brain and through my intellect again, then he wants to bring that energy back down.
Yeah. And if that's one of our biggest problems, then I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, as you were talking, I was remembering we even had our midwife tell us like a week before we gave birth, your libido is going to be really low through postpartum. When women are breastfeeding and nursing, they don't want to have sex very often because you're not typically ovulating. And I have been nursing Sophia for 10 months and I haven't had a menstrual cycle come back yet. So I don't believe I've been ovulating this whole time. I don't feel that I have in my body. And without ovulating, I've still had a very healthy libido the whole time. Like, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another myth busted. And everybody's experience is different. So just honoring, I think a big part of us was like when we hear these stories before we've reached that milestone in life, like these horror stories about there's no more sex or the libido drops, like just as that information's even coming in, just like Control Alt Delete. Like I do not accept that as our reality, and really catching that, like, does this information resonate with you? Does it serve you? Because if you choose to take it on, then it can become your prophecy. Like it self-perpetuates and create that experience, because that's just what you believe is supposed to happen based on what you've heard. So we don't accept that, and because of that, it's allowed for so much more freedom and flow with our sexual chemistry. It's been pretty magical.
Yeah, one thing I really want to share that comes to mind is I had previously, like before being pregnant, before we conceived a child, I always experienced orgasm from my clitoris and from my G-spot, and those were like my predominant pleasure centers. And now that, then when we got pregnant, like something shifted in my cervix. The energy of my cervix ripened and opened, and I started experiencing cervical orgasms really consistently, and now that's continued like since childbirth. Now I would say my most common pleasure center from which I experience orgasm is my cervix. So pregnancy and childbirth created a deeper orgasm for me. It's a deeper kind of and stronger orgasm, and it's really cool that my body has like changed to have a deeper sense of pleasure and a different center for that orgasmic energy to accumulate from the experience of motherhood and of childbirth. So that's also was a surprise, and a very pleasant surprise to discover throughout the journey.
Absolutely.
And one fear that I had, and I think a lot of women have when becoming pregnant and having a child, is like, is my partner still going to be as attracted to me as a mom after my partner sees me give birth, right? Like, is he still going to be able to look at my yoni the same way? Is he still going to be as attracted to me? And so I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Your experience of how witnessing childbirth, like if that had any impact on your
like I mentioned,
and pregnancy.
Yeah. I actually during pregnancy, I loved that your hormonal waves. I actually appreciated it, and that your libido was really high during pregnancy, because it was, it's my first time experiencing that as a father, and through this initiation, it's been so beautiful to see like what your body is even capable of. It's such a miracle, like holding this baby that's like the best of both of us in her belly, and there's only like this thin layer between this beautiful being and us, and so she can feel our vibration, she can feel our voices and our love. And so yeah, our sex drive is very high even through pregnancy.
It was so high.
Yeah.
There was like another level of libido through pregnancy, to be honest. Like,
yeah, and basically I've been in awe, and even after giving birth, just to witness like her warrior archetype during the pregnancy to just this nurturing mother archetype that's so beautiful, and just feel blessed that I picked such an amazing queen and mother of our child. That to witness the changes in your body is another miracle. Like, you're already so tiny in like 10 months. No, people would look at you and be like, wow, you had a baby? Like, it's just crazy to consider. And so I feel really blessed, and your body knows. It's just so intelligent that it just comes back to this natural state of inner peace. And a lot of that's due to the level of energetic hygiene that you maintain from your practices. And so I feel like super blessed, and getting to hold down that frequency and that pillar through this whole journey has been an honor. So
yeah, and I, like, from my perspective, I definitely haven't felt that my partner's any less attracted to me because of having given birth or becoming a mom or being pregnant. When I gained a lot of weight, and there at the end of the third trimester felt really big and swollen, and I looked different. I looked different to myself, and so that feels really good to feel my partner's attraction to me unwaver throughout the experience, and even grow stronger because of our child growing inside of me.
Absolutely.
And also, like, this level of merging from being married and having a family and sharing our home the way that we do. There's been something really amazing to learning how we maintain our polarity and how we maintain our sovereignty to amplify our chemistry and keep our healthy flame of fire lit, and those fans of the flame ignited for our sex life. So much more we could say on that.
Yeah, that's for the next podcast. And it's such a pleasure to get to share our experience. We hope that this helps and resonates with you on your journey. And if you guys have any questions, any comments, feel free to share, because we're here to support you and love sharing this journey. It's been amazing, miraculous.
We're just two humans experiencing this human realm and sharing about our truth. So thank you for listening. Many blessings.
Hallelujah.
I lost it.